Okay, the next question, we're going to start with Trista. And the next question has to do with education, of course. How will you measure the quality of our schools and whether our high school graduates are well prepared to enter the workforce or go into additional education, to work towards additional education? What data is important for you to have to determine the health of our education system? In other words, how do you know if a school is good for our kids? If you could have any information to judge a school, what would you want, Trista?
Thank you, Cecilia. I appreciate the question. In regards to assessing the health of our local education system, I like to review the data available on the California School Dashboard. It does have some great information if you would all like to check that out. Our school district has close to 10,000 students that include almost 64% socioeconomically disadvantaged students and close to 24% that are English learners. In 2019, Woodland Joint Unified School District had a 92.4% graduation rate, with a 47.7% of students placed in the prepared level on the college and career indicator. This tells me that as our district, we are doing great work, but there's still some room to improve. I think our district is doing a good job providing avenues for our students to be successful after high school. The district offers several career technical education or CTE pathways for students in high school that often host many different, they also host many different college readiness information nights and things like that. My daughter has attended a few herself. The district also offers a dual enrollment program that allows for students to earn college credits tuition free while they're still in high school, which I think is a great opportunity for high school students as well. I would like to see some more CTE pathways that could expand to include more career choices and paths. This will allow students to see opportunities and available career choices that they can work towards after high school. And lastly, I think it's important to get students' feedback and input. Do they feel prepared and ready to go to college or have a career after high school? That information could truly gauge if we're doing a great job as a district in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Trista. Okay, next, Kandice Richardson Fowler. I'm going to read the question for you again. How will you measure the quality of our schools and whether our high school graduates are well prepared to enter the workforce or go on to additional education? What data is important for you to have to determine the health of our education system? In other words, how do you know if a school is good for our kids? If you could have any information to judge a school, what would you want, Kandice? Thank you.
I love that this question says the health of our school and not the performance of our school, because those are two very distinct different metrics. What I would like to look at would be student engagement, educator engagement, parent engagement. How involved are people in the schools? I would like to look at the campus culture and climate. How much do the kids love being a part of their school? You know, I am a USC alum, Trojan, go Trojans. And I will always talk about being a Trojan. That's a point of pride for me, you know, and our kids should have that same point of pride. My children have asked, why are you always at Beamer? Because I love our school and I'm trying to do what I can to make it better. That's exactly why I'm running for school board. That's probably why everybody is running for school board, because they believe in this district so much and they want better. That's what you do when you care about something. You hold their feet to the fire and you help them aspire to better. Some of the other metrics that I would like to see are access. What access do we have to higher education? On that same point with Trista, increasing our CTE. You know, I know that my husband, who's from Nevada Union, Nevada County area, they have a Bring Our Sons and Daughters Home program. I grew up in Orange County. And we had, at my high school, which was a blue ribbon school, we had freshmen, sophomore, and juniors in college who graduated from our high school, return back to the high school, and basically talk about their experience transitioning from the school to college to kind of give kids a hurdle help and a step up and an insight to what it's like. But it also kept track of where our alumni were going and what was going on in their life. That's also a wonderful metric to use as well. So thank you for this question.
Thank you, Kandice. Okay, next we have Jake, and I'm going to read the question for you, Jake. How will you measure the quality of our schools and whether our high school graduates are well prepared to enter the workforce or go on to additional education? What data is important for you to have to determine the health of our education system? In other words, how do you know if a school is good for our kids? If you could have any information to judge a school, what would you want? Thank you.
Thank you. And I think we've had some really great insights from Trista and from Kandice too. I mean, this question, it kind of embodies, you know, your perspective and your philosophy towards education. And for me, the way I measure the health of a school is through an equity lens. You know, how effective are we at meeting the needs of our most disadvantaged students? And how successful are those students compared to students who don't have similar barriers in their lives? Because our kids can't control the circumstances of their birth, but we as a school district, what we can control is what we do to help empower our students to overcome those barriers that they grow up with. And I speak to that from a very personal perspective, having grown up in a household that was at times chaotic. My father struggled with drug addiction has struggled with addiction for most of my life. And so I look back in my own life and see all the different points at which I could have very easily, you know, taken a different path. I also think that, you know, in terms of if I could have any data in the world available to me, I think one thing that's really important is, you know, how successful are our students post-graduation compared to their parents in an economic sense.
Right.
And I say that as a member of the millennial generation, which is one of the first generations in a long, long time that is on track to be fiscally worse off than their parents. And I think it's vitally important that, because I see public education as a great equalizer in our society, that we think about, you know, how successful are our graduates as a measurement of the success of public education.